Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. Now, if you've been following along on my Instagram, then you've seen we have gained a ton of new sponsors for this season. One of them being Condor Speed Shop. Now, I already run a ton of parts on my car from Condor. Everything front to back, top to bottom is all Condor bushings. I run their door cards, I run their HVAC delete panel, their gauge pod, I run a whole lot on my car. And so far I love everything that they make and they provide for BMWs. Now, in an upcoming video, you're going to see that we need to upgrade the roll cage that we have in the car and install the rest of the cage that I already have in the corner of my garage so we can make this full Pro-Am spec to compete this year. Now, what that's going to consist of is me adding A-pillar bars. We need to run a halo bar to connect the two by the windshield. We also need to run intrusion bars to the wheel well, and we're going to be running some NASCAR style door bars that will actually come out and protrude into the door close to the skin and go back in. Now, in order for us to run those kind of door bars, we obviously are going to have to remove the window motor that is inside the door. Now, we could retain the original window glass that's in there, but I've already taken the motor out. I might as well just get rid of all the weight that I can. And in light of our new sponsor, I want to run a new part as well, and this is something I've been thinking about. Now, this polycarbonate window kit that I'm going to run is pretty sweet. Both the windows come pre-cut, and they give you the option to run window sliders as well, which I did opt to do for the driver's side. Now, everything that comes in this kit is obviously the two windows themselves. They have rails for the sliders. They have obviously hardware for the slider. They have 4 pins for the windows. Now, these have different slots in them, you'll see later in the video. This is what just holds the window in place at whatever height you want it to. And also, obviously, the slider, which is pretty much a window. It's just this small little 8 by 11 roughly that you can just open and close. Now, the first thing we need to do is get these door cards removed so we can get inside the door and start pulling out the motor, glass, and everything associated with it. Then you'll want to remove the trim. Then once you undo all the bolts and have the motor free, this window will just pop right out of the brackets. And then you can go ahead and just fish the motor out of the door. And all you're left with now are the rails that are inside and the door skin here. All right, now that our door is bare, we can go ahead and unwrap the passenger window and get it fitted up in here. Okay, so these windows are designed to slide right into the OEM channels. Right there. Right there. And it's as easy as that. It just pushes into place. And then you use these pins to go into these holes to hold it in place. So then we will unwrap see their logo. They have nice and engraved on here as well. Pretty sweet little touch. And just like when we test fit them, slide them right into place. I'm going to be getting these covered in fingerprints now. But that's okay, we can clean it. We want to guide it up. Then we can go ahead and throw the inner trim piece on. We actually have to have these removed for this. And you can see they're already up there pretty well. I don't have anything supporting it right now. They're pretty well in there. This trim piece I popped off on the side of the door here. You don't have to take it off, it's no problem at all. All right, then we'll put these back in one more time. And then we'll just repeat the same thing for the other side. Alright, so now we need to go ahead and install our window slider kit that I'm going to put on just the driver's side here. Now, normally Condor sells this all as a kit, pre-drilled, everything together. I opted to do this window last minute, so I'm going to have to drill the holes for all the bolts, as well as cut out the window, which isn't really a big deal. It's just a little extra work. So the first thing that we're going to want to do is figure out a good height. All right, so my mark right where I want the window to be is right about here. We'll just set the window there. These are the rails that the window is going to slide on. So we'll have it here all the way forward like the window is shut. And then we'll pull this measurement from the seal to here, and we'll pull that same measurement at all three spots so this rail will be level with the window trim. We are at, we'll say 4 inches to the bottom of the rail. We'll mark that. Okay, so there's 1 in, then we'll go ahead and level out each side so they're all the same. That's at 4 inches. That's at 4 inches there. That's at 4 inches there. So there's 1 rail. Then we'll put the window in place, sliding it all the way forward. And then we'll mount this other rail on here like so. Now keep in mind, all of this stuff is actually going to be mounted on the inside, but just to make it easier for me, I'm just drilling the holes, lining it up out here, and then we'll just go ahead and put all this stuff on the inside of the window when we go to install it. And then once we have our 6 bolts in, we'll go ahead and throw the rails in. And then we'll install the rectangular pieces on top of that. And then we'll install the window. And then we'll install the other rectangular piece up top. And then we'll put bolts on the back side. And And the last thing we need to do is just trace out a rectangle a little bit smaller than the slider back here. Then when it's forward, it'll be closed. From inside, I'll have a handle. I can open the window. All right, now I need to go ahead and trace out a window that I'm gonna cut a little bit smaller than the slider on the inside. So to trace this, I'm just gonna use one of my daughter's little alphabet things because it's clear. And I'm just gonna line this up a little bit smaller than the window. Now that we have it traced, we're gonna wanna cut this with like a jigsaw or something that doesn't rotate too fast. I don't wanna use an angle grinder because it's just gonna start melting this plastic and it's gonna deform the window. Alright guys, I apologize, the camera died, I didn't realize. So I traced out a square a little bit smaller than the sliding window that we need to cut out. And I ended up just using some hole saws so I could get close to the edge from here. I'm just gonna use a jigsaw to cut it out, but I don't have it with me right now. So for the time being, I'm just gonna leave it like this. It looks kind of stupid, but I'll have this cut out here shortly. All we have left to do now is just install the little knob so I can open and close the window from the inside. Alright guys, so the windows are done. I am very impressed with how Condor made these. These are super nice quality, so I really couldn't be happier with them. Alright guys, and that's pretty much it. That completes the window install. That's much easier than I thought it was going to be. And like I said, they do provide you with a kit that already has the window cut out and all the holes drilled, so you can just slap it all together. I hope you enjoy the video. Stay tuned for the next one. We're going to be cutting out these door bars and welding in all the rest of our Pro-Am cage. So I'll see you then. Later.